This is W2FJH bringing up the STNY Digital VoiceNet on Brandmeister Talk Group 31367, Wires X Room 83721, and on Zoom. The primary purpose of the STNY Digital VoiceNet is to help foster an active digital voice community in the southern tier of New York and to provide a forum for those that are interested or have questions regarding various digital voice topics. Well, this net is primarily for the southern tier. All stations are more than welcome to check in. This net meets weekly on Sundays at 7 p.m. Again, the call sign is Whiskey 2 Foxtrot Juliet Hotel, and the name here is Frank. Well, first you can stand by for any stations with emergency or priority traffic. Please call now. Okay, nothing heard there. If there is any emergency or priority traffic during this net, please give your call sign followed by the word break spoken 2 times. Please leave a 4 to 5 second pause between transmissions for breaking stations or for those who wish to disconnect this talk group. This is a direct net, and the format will follow announcements, questions, and comments. This net utilizes NetLogger, which can be found at netlogger.org. NetLogger is not required, and we will take additional voice check-ins. For more information about this net or to join the Zoom meeting, please visit stnynet. That's Sierra Tango November Yankee Delta Mike Romeo.net. You can also find us on 73.net. That's Sierra Echo Victor Echo November numeric number 3.net. This net will prioritize short-time, mobile, in and out, or emergency power stations, followed by NetLogger check-ins, followed by voice check-ins. We currently do have quite a few stations checked in, either through NetLogger or from keying up within the 5-minute timer there before the net starts. So the net would like to recognize KC9 HEK Brian, N3 OJP Mick, N2 RWH Ed, and KC2 HSU Chris. All right, when checking in, please give your call sign, your name, and your location. So let's take a standby for any stations that are short time, mobile, in and out, or emergency power. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there. So let's open it up for any station that would like to check into the STNY Digital VoiceNet this evening. Please call now. 2FJH. This is N2 BSS, November 2, Bravo, Sierra Sierra. Jeff, good evening.
N2 NRA, Cliff, Waverly, New York.
All right, and I would like to recognize N2 BSS Jeff and N2 NRA Cliff. If there's any other stations to join this evening, please call now. All right, nothing heard, so let's kick things off then. If there's any announcements for the net this evening, please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so let's move on to questions. If there's any questions for the net this evening, please call now. All right, nothing heard there. I actually did have a question for somebody who has checked in here. Um, And Brian, tell me if we can take it offline and discuss it there because I know we have quite a few people checked in. But I know before we talked about the Saturday night because we had moved the digital voice net from Saturday night to Sunday night. There was some talk we had about having a roundtable room on Saturday nights because you said that that evening worked out better for you. I was just wondering if you've given it any more thought, so I'll hand it over to KC9 HEK, Brian.
Hey, Sandy. Okay. Honestly, Frank, no, I have a lot more thought into that. We've been traveling. Frank, right now we're in Pensacola, Florida. My schedule's been a little bit up in the air. You can tell I haven't even attended this net too frequently in the last 60 or 90 days. So, no, I guess if there was a little more interest if somebody else wanted to maybe share some of that responsibility, I'd maybe done a thought, but at this point, I really haven't put an awful lot of consideration into that. Back to you, Frank. This is KC9 HEK.
Okay, very good there, Brian. So yeah, I guess I can open it up. If there's any other interest, in having a Saturday night roundtable, just kind of an informal, no net control. Stop by if you have a chance around 7 o'clock, and you can put out your call sign and just kind of a round. I guess they call it round robin or round table. Just kind of go around, everybody talks, and when you get to the end of the list, you go back up to the top, and when you want to, you gotta step away from the radio there. You can just say that it's your final one, and be checked out. For those in the Southern Tier area, similar to like the morning net that I think Ford and a few folks like that do. But I'll open it up if there's anybody that is interested or have any additional comments. Please call now. Okay, well, nothing heard there. I guess anybody who is interested, you can just get a hold of me either on 73 or my email address is on QRZ. If there's any interest in having a roundtable next on Saturdays for those folks that are free and available to check in and stop by the Southern Tier Talk group here. So, all right, moving on. Going in for comments then. All right. So the net topic this evening was: do you have a WiresX PDN capable radio? That includes models that are the FT2, 3, or 5DR, the FTM 100, 200, 300, or 400 DR. And if so, have you used this capability of connecting into it and using the WiresX software to have it as a PDN or a HRI 200 mode? So first on my list is KC9 HEK. Brian, how was your week?
This is KC9 HEK. Hello, Frank, and hello to the folks here as part of the net. It's been a good week. We're in Pensacola, Florida. Our daughter from Seattle and our daughter from Knoxville, Tennessee came down and joined us for the past week. And it's been great having the family sort of together in the warm weather. Yes, I do have a PDN capable radio. I have the FTM 300. I use it as a mobile in my van, um, but I've never hooked it up and tried to use any of the PDN functions. It's on my list of things to do, and it's one of the things I may work on when I get back into upstate New York. But at this point, I haven't used that capability. Back to you, Frank. This is KT9 HEK.
Hey, very good there, Brian. And It might make some of the other people around here jealous. I guess we have a warmer day today, but since you're in Florida, for us to miss the beautiful weather, what is the temperature down there right now?
This is Casey 9HE. Well, for those who may not be familiar with Florida geography, Pensacola is in the central time zone. We're in the far extreme of the panhandle of Florida, and we're about as far north in Florida as you can get. So most of the days it's in the low 70s, and at night it's getting down into the high 40s, low 50s. But I'll tell you, it's 70 degrees out here with a bright blue sky and sun. It's extremely comfortable sitting out on the beach in a t-shirt. You get a little bit further south though, and we've got some friends that are down in Anna Maria Island, which is right outside of Tampa, St. Petersburg area, and they're getting into the low to mid 80s, so it's much warmer down there. I got familiar with the Panhandle of Florida when I lived in Jacksonville 25, 30 years ago, and would have to come over to this area on business. And it's got the whitest sand beaches you'll ever see anywhere in the country. And Pensacola is a great little historical city. There's been five flags flown over Pensacola over the years. It's steeped in the history. And the Blue Angels are here. So a couple times on our trip, we've been sitting out and they'll see the Blue Angels fly over doing some of their practice runs. Back to you. This is KC9HEK.
Hey, very good there, Brian. And yeah, the 70s to me, hey, that's perfect weather. When you start getting into the 80s and 90s, it gets a little too hot to be doing stuff outside. That really is just for me. I know some people love the hotter the better, but 70 degrees is perfect weather for me. So, very nice. So, all right, next on my list is N3OJP. Nick, how was your week there?
Oh, good evening, Frank. Everybody on the net. Oh, Brian, sounds like it's doing well for you down there. That's great. Get away and enjoy it. It's 64 right here in Beaver Falls. That's in the shack next to a heater. I think it's about 44 outside, so I don't think it really counts as Florida. But doing good. Boy, I had some big weather changes this week. Earlier in the week, it got up to 60 and sunny. Then rain. Then this morning, I think it was 16 degrees when I got up. My daughter was heading to Colorado with her boyfriend, my oldest daughter. They're going skiing. They got passes or something. They want to use them. So I picked her up at 6:30 in the morning. I think they had an 8 o'clock flight or 8:30. And then there was a ham fest in the South Hills, which is a good 50 miles from where I live, but I know the airport's halfway. So I went to the ham fest. It was kind of nice, the first one of the year, quite a few people. Uh, so a lot of people I know here from Beaver County and elsewhere. So it was kind of nice. And in fact, I sat with a friend of mine. He had a table and just selling an amp, tuner. I think he had a power supply. So it's kind of nice seeing everybody in that environment. I didn't win anything. I usually don't, so I don't get too excited. I do buy my $20 worth of tickets and a few other things. We get a break. I picked up. I had to restock some items. I picked up a couple big mixed 31s toroids, and then some AC line toroids for any kind of noise, and a few other items. I got a couple desk mics I want to. They're old, and I want to convert them with some electric uh, mic condensers and see what I can do with them. But other than that, I was looking for a SATA 2 drive. I picked up one of those Evolve Maestro laptops that were being sold on Amazon, I think, for around 1 1/4. Nice little laptops, and I mean little. It's got 11.5 screen. So I got it plugged into a monitor. So I don't know if I want to put another hard drive inside of it, or I got thumb drives here. I guess that'll work too. Just hate to take up another slot. There's only two USB ports. But other than that, just helping some guys with FL Digi. I do a little training around here. And family was over tonight. They just left just before the net started. So I'm a little tired. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably read a little bit and then hit the roost. Frank, I'll turn it back to you. W2FJH N30JP. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, very good there, Nick, and good to hear that they're having usually around like the spring, summer, fall type. I hear a lot of ham fest going on. It's good to also see some occurring in the winter time there, because usually that's the best time to get on the radio. There's not really much to do outside, but but also, yeah, I you mentioned one of the small laptops and everything on Amazon, and actually I just picked up. I saw that you can get some refurbished some Chromebooks for like $100 or less, like, and they're actually I mean they are what you get what you pay for. They are a little lightweight, but for some little lightweight. Browsing on the internet or doing some. I do some like terminal commands, just SSHing and things like that. Actually makes a great little laptop that you can do that on. And if Lillian or something grabs it and breaks it on me, I'm not really too concerned about her breaking, especially one that was like $50 or something, as opposed to another laptop that may be a couple hundred, several hundreds of dollars. So all right, next on my list is N2RWH. Ed, how was your week there?
And 2RWH here. Week was pretty good here. Other than that, just just got finished watching the race here. Usually our Sunday things. So, uh, other than that, should be looking like next week should be another busy week at work. But other than that, turn that back to you, Frank, and to RWH.
Hey, very good there, Ed. And actually, the other Ed, NE2W, I heard on the StarNet mentioned something about a race too. And forgive my ignorance here. I don't follow so many sports, but what race is it that's going on right now?
And to RWH, the NASCAR race. It was down in Atlanta, Georgia. So, back to you.
Okay, very good there. Yeah, I'm not. I don't really follow the racing sports area, but I know like they have like the Daytona 500 and things like that. So I just was wondering if it was one of the big games that I just didn't hear that was going on. So, all right, very good there. So next on my list is KC2 HSU. Chris, how was your week?
Yeah, good evening, Frank, and everyone else on the net. KC2HSU here in upstate New York, Oneida County. And as far as the net topic, I do not own a radio with that capability. I own two Fusion mobiles, but they're the entry level FDM 3200DR that has been since discontinued. And want to have a cheap way to have the mode and used it for simplex with my dad pretty much because there's really no Fusion up this way. And week was good. I was off all week, using some more of my paid family leave with my newborn, who's, I don't know, probably not a newborn anymore because he's 30 months old. And going back to work tomorrow, so we're going to be shifting quite a bit here from the week off to that, but it was good to spend time with family. So try to take advantage of it as much as I can. All right, we'll catch everyone later. Back to net from KC2HSU.
Yeah, I hear you there, Chris, and yeah, definitely. Or at least for me, I took the full amount of time off that I could, because later on in life, I always figured, hey, I can get more work done, but looking back, am I gonna, you know, I probably would be like, well, I want to spend more time with Lillian. Should have spent more time with her. So, and yeah, at 3 months old, they definitely there's still a lot of work to be done. So, good for you there. So. All right, and congratulations again. So, all right, before I get to the next station on my list, this is W2SJH with the STNY Digital Voice Net. Let me take a standby to see if there's any additional stations that would like to check in this evening. Please call now. All right, with nothing heard there, then we will continue on down the list. Next on my list is N2BSS. Jeff, how was your week?
Hey, good evening, and to BSS, November 2, Bravo, Sierra, Sierra, and Annette. Unfortunately, we doubled earlier. I must have delayed too long, and you and I were stepping on each other, and I think you won. So I had just said at that time, with regards to the roundtable, that I'm not sure if I'd be able to be a regular on that or not, given Saturday night. And it's a nice idea. I'd participate when I could if there was one, but certainly I would not be a regular on that. Okay, moving on to that. I don't own any of those radios you mentioned, so don't know any of that mode or whatnot. So I can't contribute to the conversation there. And as for everything else, well, I took a little bit of advantage of working some 12 meters both yesterday and today. 12 lately has been my best man working FT8. Tried doing a little SSB on 10 meters, but everywhere I tuned, somebody was calling somewhere else. They didn't seem to want to talk to the United States, or at least not Pennsylvania or part of the world. They were always looking for something else. So I retreated back over to FT8. Nobody seemed to care where I was coming from, but there must have been a special event station or some rare one out there, because all these Japanese stations kept calling it, and they were all over the band, not necessarily on that station's frequency. So exhibiting some behavior in FT8 I'm not familiar with, nor did I want to emulate. But that's about that. So I'm trying to cook some dinner right now. So with that, we'll say 7-3 for now. Back to net control and to be
Hey, very good there, Jeff. And yeah, the Wires X and PDN mode or HRI 200 modes, they're in the Yaesu System Fusion realm, and the other digital voice realm of that. I haven't gotten into anything with D-Star myself, just because I don't have any ICOM radios, and they're also pretty expensive. But I know this area on the southern tier, they do have Fusion repeaters up. So I have gotten a Yaesu radio for that. And yeah, the roundtable was just kind of that. That hey, there's no, for this net there has to be a net control, and I do thank Mick and Ed for filling in for me when I'm not around to run the net. But it is more of a commitment. Whereas the round table would be kind of more informal, just basically a group of hams, just at a regular time, just hey, I'm checking in, and even if there's only two of you that show up, you're just talking back and forth to somebody there. So that would definitely be a lot more informal, no commitment with any sort of net control, and just kind of show up if you can. So all right, next on my list is N2NRA Cliff. How was your week there?
This is STNY Cliff from Waverly. Oh, well, it's 9 degrees, heavy frost this morning, but we tune in on YouTube, watch the lunar landing. I understand that it tipped over, but still functional. And that listen to Thursday, they were working on the 146.865 repeater up in Binghamton there. I believe it was AB2HS was up there, and they were tuning it up and checking that out, as well as the A2 part of the frequency. The radio you were talking about, I guess that feature I'm not familiar with, and so we don't have that there as well. So I just otherwise we do some D Star and Echolink, and we had HT on and copied somebody from Ireland. They must have been going through Echolink for that function. This is N2.
Yeah, Cliff. At least I'm not the only one. I get tongue tied all the time sometimes, and I have to repeat myself there. All right, and yeah, it's fascinating how much different stuff just on YouTube that you can always just find. They're producing these videos and putting them out there for free. You can find anything from like the lunar landing to all sorts of different topics. I think before I've heard that there's something to the effect of like 90,000 hours or something like that for every hour that goes by on YouTube, and so it's physically impossible to watch everything that is ever uploaded onto YouTube. It's just exponentially growing. So all right, and yeah, I might get a hold of you sometime if I ever get into D Star since you've used it before. So that kind of an area that I haven't really touched into too much. So all right, I have reached the end of my list. So this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital VoiceNet. And let's first take a standby just to see if there's any additional stations that would like to check into the STNY Digital VoiceNet. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there. So let's open it up for any additional stations or for any stations that have checked in with additional comments, questions, or concerns. Please call now. All right, here nothing then. We might as well wrap things up here. So I'd like to thank Brian, Mick, Ed, Chris, Jeff, and Cliff for joining me this evening. We will be returning this talk group back to normal amateur radio use. Hope everybody has a great and safe week there. This is W2FJH, and I'll be listening.